There's a lying tongue. You
Yeah.
understand that the scriptures talk about how the tongue is, yet it's small, but it's a powerful member, man.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why scriptures say how great of a fire it kindleth.
Yep.
You know?
Life and death are in the tongue.
Yeah.
Yep.
It says, "In heart that deviseth wicked imaginations." And going back to the tongue for a second, hey, even the situation that happened in New York with the dude getting his orbital bone split and like being in the hospital. Hey, you don't know what happened between that man and that woman, or what lies could have been told for that man to be in that position to come up and approach her, man. You know, you have no clue. It says a heart, and she could have been clearly in the wrong.
Yeah.
You know, it says a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift to run. It's like a feet that be swift in running to mischief. A false witness that speaketh lies, and him that soweth discord among brethren.
Yep. A false witness that speaketh lies, and him that be swift to run it. What it say?
Discord.
To sow discord.
Instigating this shit, man.
Yeah. All of that. All of that. The Most High hates that shit, man. So if you always into somebody else's business, the Most High can take you out, man. Okay? Now let's go back to the second Empress. No. Back to that.
Yep. This is second Ezra 9. Back at verse 2. Okay, can I start back at the top?
Yep.
This is second Ezra 9 back at the top. It says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world."
These are judgments, man, that are coming upon people. Not just signs. They're also, to some people, these are their judgment coming. The wrath of their evil is coming, repaid to them in these situations. Go ahead.
In the world, it says, "Therefore when
It's
there
like
shall..."
it. And the earthquakes in diverse places, and that's dealing with the earth. And then the activity of the people on the earth.
Yep.
The uproars of the people, that's the effects of the people feeling the travail, the birth pains.
Yep.
It's causing them to cry out. Like it says in Proverbs 29, when the righteous are on authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. That's where all the uproars is coming, because the governments that rules does not have these people's best interests.
Yep.
And it's causing devastating environmental conditions that's affecting their livelihoods. So they're crying out. That's these uproars, man.
Right.
People protesting, clashing with their police,
The government.
inciting rebellion against their governments. You know, opting out with strikes, going on strike.
Yep.
You know.
People
Yeah,
going to get officials.
Yeah.
People getting laid down, man. It's not that time to be crooked. It's not the time to be crooked at people's expense. Okay?
Sri Lanka, that was the latest example.
Yep.
Sent that dude fleeing to a damn military ship. They took over this dude's home.
This is 4. "Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest."
Now, the beginning of this, we know how Genesis speaks about the creation and everything, right? But the real beginning of this situation that's coming to an end isn't the earth itself. It's the condition, this hellish condition that's in the earth. Starting from the time with the serpent, Eve, Adam, and all of that in the garden. That is finally coming to an end. But it has went from a lie being told all the way to all this robbery, murder, evil, rape, pedophilia, all this crazy stuff that happens in the earth today, coming to a head with this situation now where the Most High has to move on the earth now. Okay? That it's even corrupted his godly people. to where they don't even consider that they're supposed to live a godly conduct in their life. So he has to step in before everybody be gone and preserve his elect. But he has to set the example also. And this example, trust me, man, just from reading it, from just reading the examples that's written about what the Most High is going to do in this time, man, you don't want to be around for this. You want to escape this as best as possible. Okay?
Mighty man shall weep bitterly.
Like a woman in travail, you know,
And
hands on his loins and on the, yeah. You also have something too. Finish up what you had.
Back in second
We're
Ezra.
going to go back to that. We're going to hold it for a little while.
Back
To finish, we'll stop at 7 before you get to 7.
It says, but like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest,
Yep.
even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders, and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs.
And the endings and effects and signs. We're seeing the effect of all of this that has been happening. Mass evil is upon the world. Right now, trust me, you go back 200 years, nobody would want to live in this condition on the earth that people just live in every day now. The prophets from thousands of years ago, hundreds and thousands of years, not hundreds of thousands, hundreds of years ago and thousands of years ago, prophesied about these times, and they were shook. As lawless as that time looked. Okay, but there was an understanding between people. Now, them lines are blurred, man. You don't know what the boundaries are. There's no discipline in the earth. Emotion rules, how you feel rules over every other judgment in the earth. Okay? This is the time we're coming into. This is the evil that's coming upon the world. I was in on that, right? So hold that chapter. Remember to hold it for later. So you got some right now?
No,
Okay. So you have some and you got some, right? You got some that you got it.
Zechariah 1, Zephaniah 1 and 14. The great day of the Lord is near, it is near and hastening greatly.
Yep.
Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness.
Yep. Get Thessalonians 5, I believe it is. Is that Thessalonians? Yeah, Thessalonians 5, and also 1 Thessalonians 5. Also get Amos 5. Continue.
A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities, against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord.
There you go.
And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung.
That's the majority of the earth have that judgment coming to it. Okay? The elites that are going to kick off, how should I say it, the working class, if you will, crops of slaves, they're going to be preserved, and the elect are going to be preserved. Everybody else is gonna have to eat a missile or die by some terrible judgment coming into this time. They're gonna have to be born into the conditions of heaven. Let's get those other two chapters right there.
It's 1 Thessalonians 5 at the top. It says, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you.
And I was gonna pull this one when we were talking about Ecclesiastes 3, talking about the season.
Did we read that?
We didn't get to the end of it. We're going back to it.
For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them.
Yep.
As travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
That's why the brother mentioned the birth pains. These are the small contractions happening. Little pains. Then eventually the pains get uncontrollable. And once it gets to a point where it's unbearable, time for the baby to come out. Well, that unbearable time is still coming. That's an analogy for the day of the Lord when shit fully hits the fan. Okay? You can smell the shit in the air now, but when it hits the fan, it's a wrap. That was it on that? You got more, right?
That's good all now.
Yeah. Well, let me see where I want to stop. Did you stop? Keep reading to 6.
It's 4. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that the day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others.
So that's what we're out here to do. To spiritually wake you up, start paying attention what time you're living in. Okay? So you can start living the right way in life. And you're only going to do that if you're of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? If your father line goes through those people, it don't matter what you look like. It matters what spirit is inside you. All right? Yes.
It says, therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night.
Yep.
And they that be drunken are drunken in the night.
Yep. And that's not literally PM. That's literally in a dark time of the earth. And living in a dark state of consciousness. Right.
But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet the hope of salvation.
This is key, because this is what we're really hoping for. When we get back to Romans 13, it's going to go into that.
And darkness is used to show that the world is in without knowledge.
Yep.
And the light without the wisdom. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. You got yours out.
Amos 5 and verse 18.
Yep.
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
Yep. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. All the evils and conditions, you man, only if you already have that lamp trim. If you have the oil for the lamp, will you be able to see in this evil time. But you have to have been trimming your lamp now. Okay, a lot of people out there just burning all of the midnight, they call burning the midnight oil. They're burning it up before it even get dark. This ain't even the dark time yet. It's getting there. It's afternoon, evening even. But when the dead of night comes, when the worst situations come upon the earth, hey man, you need to have that light and that oil in. You need that wisdom for that time. That's what we're really practicing.
Well, it can just take a day to, something happen, like the financial system. ATMs don't work, the bank card don't work. You can just take that split second, for everything to go crazy.
Right.
The power grid go out.
Yeah.
Let the water stop running and the heaters and the AC and all that stop running, man.
Mm-hmm.
And all the food trucks stop coming in.
Yep.
That all in one day that could happen.
Black Swan effect.
For real.
Yep.
Just like that, Just like that.
So that's why it tells you to seek the Lord while he may be found before the evil days come now. Okay, you got it, bro.
Verse 19. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it?
Yeah, and that's a rhetorical. It's a question that you have to ask yourself. Really? If you think about all the evil going on the earth, shouldn't it be a dark day when the Lord returns? Right? He said he's coming to judge the earth for all their works. So if all the works in the earth are evil, how bad is that day gotta be? All right?
And if you've been moving with fear, that day is not going to overtake you as a thief in the night.
Go.
Yep. There's certain men that are selected, that are going to be elected, from the foundation of the earth, that was chosen to receive the salvation,
Right.
to rejoice in that day, while everybody else is going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Now let's be real about this though. It ain't just gonna magically happen to you. You just gonna be elected. It's gonna move you to do the things that the elected will be doing. You gotta move
Like
with
Noah.
that fear. Right.
I looked up darkness in Amos 5 and 18. It says the dark, hence darkness, figuratively misery, destruction, misery, destruction, death, ignorance, sorrow, wickedness.
That's the day of the Lord. A lot of people are gonna be caught in that darkness. In that darkness. Okay? And that's why in 1 Thessalonians said, but we are not the children of